sports correspondent Geraint Vincent, he thought it all looked a bit small.
It was an extraordinary football match. It was an extraordinary day. Two great footballing nations pitted against each other in what was one of the most unforgettable chapters in the history of the game. But today the men who wrote it were together again, in the place where 40 years ago England won and the arguments began.
They keep mentioning the third goal, which goes down in football history, really, you know. But at the end of the day, I think that they thought that the best team won, really, the best team won that day. We have a respect for them. They're good people.
With all the controversy that's surrounded the construction of this stadium, developers are usually very strict about who they allow on site. This group has been given special access to what will be the centre of the pitch, but then in this part of the world they will always be a pretty special bunch. For the most part, the VIPs did seem very impressed with the new place, almost as much as the people working on it were with them. But if there was one World Cup legend who wasn't going to follow the script, well, it had to be Ward Jackie.
The playing area doesn't look big enough. It doesn't.
It's not big enough yet.
Well, if you put a ball at that in, I'm sure I can kick it to that in. Which you're not supposed to do.
Well, you can't please everybody. But if today's England players were in any doubt as to how much winning a World Cup means, well, 40 years on, listen to the cheers.
Very nice.
Geraint Vincent, ITV News, Wembley Stadium.
Time for a quick look at the papers. The Sun's headline, "Plot to Kill You," is about the gang on trial for allegedly having links to Al-Qaeda and planning a string of UK bombings. The Daily Express urges Chancellor Gordon Brown on Budget Day to abolish inheritance tax. The paper calls it a golden opportunity to lift the swingeing death duty hitting 1 in 3 households. The Telegraph leads on Scotland Yard investigating whether Labour sold peerages. The paper claims 5 out of the 12 businessmen want their money back now. And the Times reports that thousands of us are at risk after the Food Standards Agency dropped its restrictions on salt in food. The paper claims the plans are endangering the lives of 15,000 people a year. There we are. Those are tomorrow morning's headlines. That's tonight's news from me and from all of us here. Good night and thank you for watching.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by Powergen.
Hello again, good evening. Snow continues across the far north and northwest of Scotland as we move through the night, and some fairly heavy snowfalls in places as well, so watch out if you're getting out and about on the roads. But elsewhere, as you can see, a very chilly night indeed. Under those clearing skies, do expect a widespread frost and temperatures dropping well below freezing. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow morning, once again a very snowy picture towards the far north and northwest of Scotland, potentially 15 to 20 centimetres of snow over the Hebrides. But elsewhere across the UK, it's a dry day. Some really good spells of sunshine as well, particularly across northern England. Almost unbroken sunshine is likely for you. But once again, it is going to be a chilly day, but maybe not quite as cold as it's been recently. Temperatures around sort of 5 to 7 Celsius, but out of the wind, not feeling bad. Good night.
Positive energy from Powergen.
Next on ITV1, Wilson continues a look back at the former Labour Prime Minister and his retirement to the Scilly Isles.
Only one British team remains.
It's Thierry Henry! He scored! He scored for Arsenal!
Our last hope.
No more, no less than they merit!
Their last chance.
They have made history tonight.
As the young guns take on the old lady for a place in the semi-finals of the Champions League.
A simply staggering result for Arsenal.
Arsenal versus Juventus, quarter-final first leg. Next Tuesday, 7:30, ITV1.